Yeah, really pleased. Really pleased. Obviously, we talked a lot to the guys about how much success we've had this year, right? How many games we've won. Another record broken today with 16 wins in the season. That's the most this program's ever achieved in a single season. And it was partially to fill in with confidence and partially to make sure we continue to celebrate the milestones that we hit. And here's another one. An Elite Eight game, something that had never been done or I think had maybe been done once before the 2021 season. So to achieve that milestone again as quickly as we have is unbelievable and incredibly proud of the players for that. And yeah, as Jackson alluded to, now we get the chance to play at home in the deepest game that you can in the tournament, right? The last round that's hosted at a home site. Before the Final Four, and we get to do it here, which is a huge difference to what we obviously faced against Georgetown. And I know the guys are going to be excited, and we'll look to make history one more time next week as well.
Dan, why was your team able to get over the line?
I think we managed the periods of pressure quite well when they presented themselves from them. I thought we started the game well. I thought we were the better team for a good 25 minutes, and they grew into the game. The longer it went on, the more the manner in which they played, the style in which they played with, kind of became the recurring theme, I guess, towards the latter half of the first half. And then they carried on that momentum early in the second half as well. So to see the resilience and the spirit and the grit that we had to show against a team that I have to say is one of the grittiest and effective teams that we've probably played this season. They're a very good team that we faced today. They have the quality, but they are so bought into the second balls, the knockdowns, the transition moments, the ugly side of the game. They do it incredibly well. So we knew that we had to compete in that level. And again, the longer the game went on there in the second half, I thought we started to have more spells around the 60-minute mark, 65, 70-minute mark. And obviously we've come up with a magic moment at the end there to get us over the line.
First two corner kicks you had, you played short. The third one goes in and you score. Was that something where you decided to go a little longer with it?
No, not necessarily. I think with the way that they had set up, we knew that both options would be available to us. So I think we wanted to challenge the space around the top of the box and not have to maybe, not to say rely on, but only have one dimension to the manner in which we took corners today. They're obviously a really big team. We knew that serving it into there wasn't necessarily going to match in terms of the height advantage. So yeah, maybe if there's anything to it, we played short twice and they maybe expected it again. And obviously we've gone straight in with a good service and a fantastic header from Max.
I asked the players this, but from your perspective, after Max scores, how stressful is that last 6.5 minutes, especially when you said the quality of the opponent?
Yeah, I thought we managed it well. I expected the ball to come forward quickly, just with what we had scouted on them and what we had seen up to this point in the season on Vermont. So obviously a change later than we probably anticipated with the time and the substitution, but bring Braden in there as well and get a little bit more defensive numbers, size and presence in terms of aerially. But yeah, I honestly thought we managed that part really well today and have all season. Our emergency defending, the capacity to block shots, get in the way of things, put your body on the line for them, the likes of Max, Carlos and Braden as well, to be fair to him. They've been incredible in that department all season. So ironically, I wasn't that stressed for that last 8 minutes. Obviously, you can't help but clock watch a little bit. But for the most part, I thought we managed that fairly well.
You mentioned grit a moment ago. I'm not sure that's something that I've heard you discuss this season. Did you learn something about your team tonight in that regard? And is it important for this team to be gritty in the tournament?
I mean, it's important to be gritty all the time. I think, we talk a lot with the players about the identity that we want to play with, right? With the ball, how it's supposed to look, defensively, how it's supposed to look. But they would be sorely mistaken if they don't want us to some extent, be horrible as well, and to show that grit and that resilience. There is a mentality I believe, as someone that played here at West Virginia University and within the athletic department, I think, that prides itself on a little bit of that blue-collar mentality, a little bit of that underdog mentality as well. I want the players to be excited by the brand of football that we play, and I want the opponent to never want to have to play against us again. So whether that's because we're that good with the ball or because we're that resilient or that gritty or that competitive, you have to have that edge. You have to have that edge. And if I were to compliment not just the group, but the collective effort from, if you like, this time last year when our season was already over to the work we did in the spring to lead to nights like tonight, it was developing those principles of play, developing the way we're going to play the game whilst incorporating an extra edge, an extra grittiness to the way we played, a understanding of context, so how we finished the last 8 minutes when you're winning 1-0 in a Sweet 16. We have adapted the manner in which we play, not to change stylistically, but to adapt to the context of the environment, the occasion, the moment. And yeah, there was a spell there in the second half where I said to the guys, like, we have to earn the right to play. We have to be gritty. We have to fight. We have to compete. We have to go toe-to-toe in that regard to then be able to even establish possession. And we lost our way a little bit there in the early parts of the second half. But the longer the half went on, the more we showed that we were able to reestablish our control and foothold in the game, I felt.
Jackson had 7 saves, which is a season high. Your thoughts on it?
Incredibly impressive that 7's his season high. And we're 23 games in, I think. So we've done well to keep him relatively quiet with the quality of work in front. But Jackson has just been incredible this season is the reality, right? Like, I think from where things were a year ago and how much he's grown in confidence, stature and presence, he's going to be sorely missed next season. But he gets to play again. He gets to show what he's capable of, and hopefully we can keep a clean sheet next week, and he'll have something to do with that too.
Coach, 2 fouls tonight, but then 3 yellow cards on top of that. I always ask about the physicality and the ability of your team to keep their temper in check. Do you felt they did that again tonight?
Yeah, I mean, look, like the manner in which we picked up the first 2 yellow cards was probably fair enough. Some things that led to a couple of moments tactically where we almost had to. Self-inflicted to some extent, but we created situations where we had to make a foul, had to probably take the yellow card. I didn't like it because it was so early in the game and you've got 2 of your back 4 on a yellow card after what I think 15, 20 minutes maybe. But again, we knew with their size and their willingness to be versatile in the way they play. They have good footballers that can play, and they're also not afraid to play a little bit more direct. With that style of play, understanding, I think the centre forward 6'5". I think 9 of the starting 11 might be over 6'1". We were outgunned, right? So you have to get physical. You have to get in and around the ball. You have to compete and scrap, which is obviously then has the potential to lead to more fouls. But I thought we did a fairly good job of competing in that regard, selling fouls at the right time, in kind of taking contact. Which honestly has been an area where we have been a little bit naive this season. And you see other teams do it incredibly well, and we've not always been as effective or as mature in the way that we've approached that part of the game. It's a dark art. No one likes it, but look, if that's what you've got to do sometimes to win a game, then that's what you've got to do. And tonight we were a little bit more... they were a little cleverer with some of that aspect of the game, which you have to be when the guy you're playing next to's got 4 inches on you.
Going back to the grittiness thing for a second, earlier this year you talked about how your team needed to play with some arrogance or earn the arrogance to make it this far. Has your team struck the right balance of the grittiness, the blue-collar mentality versus the arrogance that they know they can play?
Yeah, I would have said borderline arrogance. It would have been with a confidence and a belief, right? A belief is something slightly different. Arrogant would express it in a way that I don't think necessarily is in the right context or in respect of the game and the quality of opponent and competition that we've played. But you have to have belief, you have to have confidence. The biggest core value we preach within this program is humility. So that's quite a contrasting statement to arrogance. I would say it borders on that because it's so much belief, so much confidence in what you're going to do, and the trust that if you do those things incredibly well and work hard, that good outcomes will come. Yeah, I wish I would have had the chance to play in one myself, right? It's incredible. It really is. And again, you look at the history of this program, and there's been other really good years within this program, but Look, before 2021, you could argue that we'd never been to an Elite Eight in the current format, in the context of how the NCAA tournament is run right now. And now we're here twice in 3 years. I guess, the only thing to do is go one step further, right? It's great that we have players that have been in that environment before. It's great that we have players with the program right now that had that experience in 2021. And then it's really kind of cool that you've got Jackson, who's in his first NCAA tournament game, Max Broughton, who scores the winner today, who's in his first NCAA tournament run, and a really cool balance of kind of enjoying that experience, embracing that experience as well. So look, there's just something about this season right now and the way that the momentum is. It just feels like it's our time a little bit. And I addressed that to the group last night after dinner, and it does. It feels like you have to take advantage of some of these opportunities that come your way. I'm not even going to say that it's got anything to do with the draw, because Vermont just as easily could have been the 12 seed or a seeded team that we would have faced today. They were very, very good, and everyone you're going to play with the parity in the top end of Division 1, there are no easy games, and it won't matter who we play next week, it won't be easy. So regardless of that, it just feels as though with this group, the momentum we have, the belief, the enjoyment they take in one another's company, those are big, big indicators for us. But it feels like this is an opportunity that we need to take advantage of next week.
Coach, two defenders account for the win goal with assists.
Yeah, I mean, we need those contributions from everyone, right? I think obviously Yatara gets us off to a great start, and then the big message, we typically go through our set piece scout the day prior to the game, and the guys have probably heard enough of my voice from the day before when we go through the regular scout and the style of play. So Andy always presents the set pieces, and his key takeaway was that at some point in this NCAA tournament run, if we continue to go, a game's going to be decided by a set piece, and we need to make sure that we're on the receiving end of that. Now, obviously, we knew that they had strength. It's easy to say that. It's quite nice when it comes true. It gives me a good one-liner for you.